Hello everybody and welcome to this presentation. I'm Ignacio Martinez-Alpiste and with Hans Hedin, Barry Connor, Jose Alcaraz-Calero and Wang, I'm glad to present Drones for Good, using artificial intelligence assisted drones to find missing people in challenging areas. This is a collaboration between the University of the West of Scotland, Thales UK and Swedish Rescue Drone. This is the table of contents, divided in 6 different sections. First, an introduction on how drones has been included in search and rescue missions. Then different capabilities that can be added to drones. Third, how the University of the West of Scotland has prototyped an artificial intelligence to be used in an unmanned aerial system. Then, in the section 4, how Swedish Rescue Drone has performed trials with this artificial intelligence. This section will be carried out by Hans Hedin, Commander-Chief. And also, finally, some conclusions and upcoming work. As you may already know, drones can be used for a lot of things. Drone has a wide applicability. For example, we have here 4 different examples. First of all, for animal protection and environmental research, to locate and identify poachers. Also, to count the different species of a determined area without disturbing them with a human presence. Also, we can use drones for medical distribution. Over the last year, in this pandemic, drones has been used to move medicines from one village to another in order to reduce the cases of COVID-19. Also, drones can be used for disaster response to help firemen to map the area where the fire is getting there. Also, for flooding, for volcanoes, and also different disasters. And finally, probably the most important use case is for finding missing people. Drones were used over 2021 this year, and drone has found 140 people. So the drones are currently being used by different authorities like police, also by non-profit organizations like rescue teams. They can be equipped with thermal and optical cameras to increase the chance of finding someone. Here we have some statistics. Around 150,000 persons were lost in England and Wales over the last year. Also, we can find other statistics for Sweden that around 20,000 persons were reported missing each year. So we can say now that drones need to be in search and rescue missions. Why? Because it increases the probability of detection. The probability for any given resource to find missing person is if it is located in that area. For example, we can divide the assets of a mission, of a rescue mission, in 4: humans, dogs, helicopter, and drones. Humans are good because we have a lot of humans very organized, but these are a slow asset. Also, we can use dogs. These dogs are good for tracing. Also, they require a lot of training. Then we have helicopter drones. Helicopter, on the one hand, is good if we are going to rescue someone, but if we are going to search someone, probably it's not that good because it has a high power consumption, it's very expensive, and by contrast, drones are very efficient in this case. One of the drawbacks that drones has is their battery. So this rescue drone is studying the different PODs, so this probability of detection, for different environments and in different scenarios for each type of asset. Here we have 4 different cases on how we can use drones over other assets. For example, in hazardous terrains, if we are going to fly over a swamp and near a cliff and near a lake, probably a human or a dog is not the best option because it's very difficult for them to walk here in an organized way. Also, drones are very effective. While people can walk at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, a drone can go faster. Also, the drone is cheaper flying than a helicopter. A helicopter is around 4,000 euros each hour, and a drone, the pilot cost is around 150 euros per hour. Also, we can search with drones every hour of the day. This is a round-the-clock asset. So we can use our thermal camera for night vision, and we can use our optical camera for the rest of the day. And also drones help in reducing the risk of some situations. For example, if we're looking for someone near a cliff, probably it's not the best option to call climbers in every point looking for them. Probably we can use first a drone to locate the person, and finally we can call this climber to rescue this person. Here we have some building capabilities that will increase by a lot the probability of detection. So we can use cameras like optical, like thermal, like LiDAR, like hyperspectral, and also use the information from this camera into an artificial intelligence solution to detect, to recognize, or to identify different objects. So, in base of this, the University of the West of Scotland, in a joint project with Thales UK, Census, and Police of Scotland, has created this drone with artificial intelligence embedded. So here you can see a schema of how the drone sends the video to the controller, and the controller is directly connected to the smartphone. The smartphone will process every frame of the video to detect the missing person on it. Once that it finds the missing person, it will draw a bounding box around these people. However, two main factors were major requirements in this system. We need a high speed of execution. The more frames that we can detect in a second, the more chances we can have to find the missing person. Also, we need high accuracy. We are going to be flying at 75 meters high, very high speed, and also in difficult environments with a lot of trees, with a lot of vegetation. So we need high accuracy. However, we need to create a trade-off between these two things. So these are our quantitative results. First, in terms of accuracy, we achieve 95% of accuracy. We are going to spot a person at 75 meters high and at 150 meters of distance by using optical or thermal camera. In terms of speed, we are executing our algorithm in more than 5 frames per second, and also is altitude adaptive. We can fly and detect over 75 meters and also below 10, so no problem at all. So here, one of the requirements also is to have a cost-effective platform. Our platform is a normal smartphone, 500 quid smartphone, with high portability and with low power consumption. The deployment is less than in 2 minutes, is DJI compatible, and has a very friendly user interface. Now I will show some qualitative results. Here on your left, you can see a human under the trees being detected in a Swedish environment. And on your right, you can see 3 different people at different distances in different positions being recognized by artificial intelligence in a Scottish environment. Here you can see thermal imagery, how it's detected. On your left, you can see that the drone is flying very high, around 60 meters high, and on your right, you can see that the people are in different positions, near a tree, lying down, sitting down, so a lot of positions. Our system is now being used around the world. It's being used by Police of Scotland, it's being used by Victoria Police, and also being used by Swedish rescue drones. So this will increase the number of data that we can receive from the video. So we will increase the accuracy of the algorithm in different environments, in different scenarios, and in different weather conditions. Now I will give the floor to Hans Hedin, Commander-Chief of Swedish Rescue Drones.
Hello, my name is Hans Hedin, Head of Mission Command and Chairman of the Board at Swedish Rescue Drones. We're a non-profit search and rescue organization based in Sweden. We have about 1,500 pilots all around Sweden, and we are collaborating with Missing People Sweden, which is another search and rescue organization, and sometimes as well directly with the Swedish police. What we do is basically we search for missing persons in non-urban terrains mainly, using our UAVs equipped with optical and or thermal cameras depending on the mission situations. And the drones might look like that, a large drone or one of the smaller one that we are flying with during our missions. And the concept is that the drone is up in the air, sending a feed to the pilot, which is looking at his screen while flying. And sometimes accompanied with an assistant imagery analyst that also looks at the screen. And we have a structure to support the pilot. We have mission commander that provides information and instruction to the pilot, where to fly, how to fly, which sectors, altitude, speed, and so forth. And we also have a Swedish rescue drone geographical information systems groups that provides a dynamic map to the pilot so that the pilot can plan the mission ahead, see where he or she is going to fly, and also during the mission, see which sector am I supposed to fly in, where am I now, and assisting the pilot in various ways. Okay, but there are some challenges for the pilot. One challenge the pilot has is that he has to have a line of sight with the drone. So he has to see the drone in the air, and at the same time he's looking at the screen where the missing person might occur. But if the pilot has to look at the machine, at the drone, and then look down on the screen, look up again, as you understand, sometimes the pilot might miss the missing person or any other evidence, a backpack or a jacket or a bike that might be connected to the missing person. The screen might also sometimes be very small. In this case, it's a mobile phone. And standing outside with sunlight, reflections from the water, it might also be difficult really to see what's happening on the screen in a great detail. There might be also disturbances, messages coming up on the screen, might be people approaching, asking the pilot, hey, what are you doing? Oh, you're looking for a missing person. That's interesting. Tell me more. Might be angry birds up in the sky trying to attack the drone. So all those challenges, how do we solve them? Well, there are solutions, and the artificial intelligence system is one of those. When that system automatically detects and alerts the pilot that there are people on the ground, then the pilot will look down and really look at the screen and say, hey, wow, this is interesting. I need to look into this in greater detail. We also use an imagery analyst standing next to the pilot with his or her own screen, might be a bigger iPad or some other screen that can be looked at. We also do a post-flight video review of the video so that we look at the recording afterwards. But also something we start now is to have live streaming to the image analyst that might be situated at the Swedish Rescue Drone Mission Command Center, or it might be sent to third parties that might be that are interested in the search, like missing people, Sweden, or the police. We are also teaching or training the artificial intelligence system to detect and to understand Swedish terrain types. We have noticed that the resilience of the AI is increased by including various scenarios and having different weather conditions and so forth. So when we are training the system, we are filming various types of terrain. We might use a dummy or have a person standing there or lying in the terrain, supposedly then to be the missing person. And we are filming terrain such as forests, water, rivers, swamps, open fields, mountain, snow, and various kinds of terrain to make sure that the AI understands that this is one of the common backgrounds in Sweden. We also fly and test during different weather conditions. sunny, windy, clouds, whatever, to ensure that the AI is also sensitive to different weather types. Human posture, clothing is important. We are having our dummy standing up, sitting down, horizontal position. We might have people walking or running to make sure that this is something that the AI system perceives as a human being. Clothing is also different. Our dummy might be wearing a red jacket, which really pops out in the terrain. If there is sort of a forest terrain that's rather greenish. And then it also is easier for the AI to detect that compared to the situation where the dummy would wear a green jacket, or even worse, a camouflage jacket, which makes it harder to separate from the background terrain. We are also having the person in isolation, as well as sitting next to artifacts such as houses, cliffs, trees, in order to teach the system this is how it might look like. So, and when we do that, we are improving the capacity of the AI to detect. When we do that, we are increasing the probability of detection of that missing person on the ground. And when we improve that probability of detection, we know that in the long run we will save more lives. And that's what it's all about. And now to the sneak preview. Goodbye.
Now we will present a sneak peek. This is a recording of our system being used in a real environment. So as you can see, the human is detected, and you can see the bounding box around it. Also here you can see two different humans, different distances, wearing different clothes in different positions. One surrounded by high grass, the other one with low grass, different colors. And you can see the user interface is very similar at the current one used by DJI. That is one of the main companies of drones. So now I'm getting to the end of the presentation. I will go through some conclusions. So this artificial intelligence overcome the problems that pilots may have over these missions. So we are not going to replace the pilot or replace the imagery analyst. No, this is a help. In this case, we know that over a few minutes, half an hour later, they start the mission, people get tired of seeing the screen, looking for a very tiny person that is just a few pixels size. And we know that the artificial intelligence doesn't get tired. So this is a help to increase the probability of detection. Also, this artificial intelligence has the potential of a faster search and therefore a faster rescue. So we strongly believe that if we can find missing people earlier, we can find them alive. So as I have previously mentioned, this is a combination that empowers the system, this imagery analyst and this artificial intelligence together. However, there are some influential factors like the location, the human posture, the weather conditions, the clothing, the colors, everything are translating into the accuracy of the system. However, we are solving this right now by receiving and training our artificial intelligence with plenty of data from different countries, from Australia, from Sweden, from Scotland. So we are every day including new data to have a continuous learning here to mitigate the aforementioned factors. Now I have some upcoming work that I would like to mention. For example, we are very focused on increasing the accuracy and also to increase the speed. So the more frames we can detect, the more chances we will have to find missing people earlier. Also, we are including different weather conditions, not only cloudy, not only sunny, but also snowy, foggy, so difficult environments that we believe that we can help these pilots to find the missing people. Also, we are increasing the compatibility with different drones and different cameras. And finally, we will benefit from the new generation 5G networks to perform cloud computing and have a better intelligence. So here we are, the different authors of this conference. Myself, Ignacio Martinez-Alpiste. I'm researching in artificial intelligence by the University of the West of Scotland. Also Hans Hedin, Mission Command Chief and Chairman of the Board of Swedish Rescue Drones. Dr. Barry Connor, he is a Technology Innovation Manager and Chief Technologist at Thales. Professor José María Alcaraz-Calero at the University of the West of Scotland. He is a specialist in next generation cognitive networks and services. And Professor Wang, also a specialist in next generation smart networks and services at the UWS. Here you have some references. We have been reported in BBC. You can take a look to this link if you would like to have more information. Also, we have a very good use cases at our webpage of the University of the West of Scotland. Our team is named Beyond 5G Hub. This is the webpage of Swedish Rescue Drones, where you can find a lot of information also, and Thales UK. At the end, you can see different papers that we have recently published if you would like to know more about our work. Thank you, everybody, for attending to this presentation. I believe that we can make a difference and reduce the time that we can find a missing person, and also help the different authorities, the different teams that are involved in this search and rescue, because we know that there is a lot of stress for the families when some people are getting lost in the middle of the wild. Thank you very much.